Hello, welcome to AllCBTs. My name is David, and in this special video, we'll be taking top likely questions that you should find in your GCE exam this year. So we have made a curated list of about top 50 English questions combing the syllabus, the GCE WAEC syllabus. We'll come about these 50 questions. So if you study these questions and you master them, okay, you should be able to ace NECO GCE. You should be able to ace the GCE exam comfortably, right? So let's go into it. These questions cover comprehension, lexis, structure, all the branches of the syllabus of the GCE exam. All right. So let's go into it, and we're going to start with number one. Identify the error. What's the error in this sentence? Neither of the solutions are acceptable. What's the error? Neither of the solutions are acceptable. In other words, neither means none or not one. So neither means singular because you say not one. All right. One is singular. So it's kind of you use neither when you are differentiating between two things. So not one or neither of the solutions. This should be is. Okay. The connecting word here, the verb here should be is. Neither of the solutions is acceptable because you are saying not one of the solutions. So this should be is. So this is the error. The error here is what? Are. Question 2. Choose the most appropriate completion. Scarcely had the referee blown the whistle, dash, pandemonium broke out. This is almost like a football club kind of, a scenario. Scarcely had the referee blown the whistle. When? Because this is an aftermath to this action. Okay, an action after an action. So scarcely had the referee blown the whistle when pandemonium broke out. Another rule of English languages, you always use had, hardly, connected with when. Use when and hard together, or hardly and when together. So the second part of the sentence will be when, because it's an aftermath action to this one. All right, so the correct option is B. Question 3. Choose the opposite, the word opposite in meaning. Choose the word opposite in meaning. So what's the word we are to get the opposite? It will be flippant, because flippant is in italics, right? So his response was quite flippant. That means kind of like unsincere, was not truthful. Yes. So what will be the word opposite in meaning to flippant from this group of words? I already told you what flippant means. Untruthful, unsincere, unserious. So the correct option from this would be sincere. Sincere is the opposite for unsincere. And then we move to question 4. Fill in the gap. He would have made the team dash he trained harder. He would have made the team dash he trained harder. So this is a conditional statement. So he would have made the team if he trained harder. Not unless he trained harder, provided he trained harder, though he trained harder. No, because this is like a past tense. It's something that is said of somebody that would have happened. So a condition that would have happened if is a conditional statement, like I said. So it has a if attachment to it. So he didn't make the team because he didn't train harder. So he would have made the team if it's a conditional word there. He trained harder. Is that clear? Question 5. Choose the correct option. The jury dash divided in their verdict. Now the jury is like a group of jurors. They are the ones in the law court that hears the cases that is presented by the lawyer. Okay, they work with the judge and determine if a person is guilty or not guilty, right? So the guilty is always the collective noun, but they often represent singularity too. For example, look at what I said here. It's a collective noun seen as individual. Okay, so while the jury is a collective noun that is used for a number of people, they are often seen as individuals. So in this case, the jury, some persons will say, because this is a collective noun or a word used to describe a group, it should be is because it's one group. No, the trick with this one is like I explained here, collective now seen as individual. So the jury are divided. That means this team of jurors or this team of judge assistants are divided on this particular case, if this man or this defendant is guilty or not. So the jury are divided in their verdict. It will not be is in this particular case. Okay. Now, if you're yet to be subscribed to this channel, hope you are enjoying it. I didn't say that before we start the video, but you should hit the subscription button right now, right away. Because as you must have already been aware, we are uploading tons and tons of educational content, and more is in the store waiting for you so that you can ace your next exam beautifully and without stress. Okay, let's continue. Question number 6 from Oral English. Which has a different vowel sound from the others? Which of these has a different vowel sound from the others? You have sit, that's a long E. You have beat, long E. You can hear it. Sit, long E. Beat, long E. Said. No, this is different. This is like the air sound, like as in air. Said, air. You see that? Then you have cheat. You have the long E. So we have sit, beat, cheat. This is hard. So said has the air sound, like in A-I-R, air. Okay, so this is the odd one. It has a different vowel sound, right? So option C is the correct answer. Then question 7. Replace the underlined expression with the most suitable alternative. Now, what's the underlined expression? In this particular case, it's not underlined. Actually, it's italic. So italic means slightly to the side. Okay. So she arrived in the nick of time. So this particular part of this sentence or phrase, in the nick of time, is what you are to give us, what you are to replace with the most suitable. So which of these options would replace in the nick of time? Let's see it. She arrived very early. No, because it says in the nick of time. Or another word of this for this would be in the brink of time. Almost at the exact time. Almost on time. Okay. She arrived very late. She arrived okay, just in time. So just in time is about the closest from all this, or the most suitable from the 4 options to fit in here. So she arrived just in time. So in other words, she was neither early or late. She came just at the right time, right? So did you get that? That's easy to understand. Let's go to question 8. Choose the correctly stressed syllable. So now we're on stress. We're taking a question on stress. For refugee. Now, the best way to answer a question on stress is that you put it in syllables. And if you don't know the word, you will not be able to answer the question. Because most of the words we pronounce them wrongly. Especially in Africa. English is not our mother tongue. So we have to learn English, okay, against European and American nations. So if you don't know how to pronounce the word, you will put the stress where it's not supposed to be and you go for the wrong answer. But in this case, it's refugee. She's a refugee. So the stress is on what? Few rather. Fu has the longest stress from the, it's in 3 syllables. You have refugee. Okay, so fu has the longest stress on it in this particular word. So B is a correctly stressed syllable in refugee. If you put it on this, it will be refugee. It will be refugee, which doesn't make any sense. If you put it on this, it will be refugee. This doesn't make sense too. If you put it on here, it would be refugee. It doesn't make sense, yeah? So this is the correctly stressed one, which is refugee, right? Or refugee. Good. Then question 9. Choose the best word to complete the sentence. What's the sentence? The senator's speech was a veiled dash at the opposition. Now, if you notice the instruction, it says the best word. In other words, there are other words here that can fit in here into the sentence. But we actually want, the examiner wants the best. That means give us the best out of all the words. So let's put the words into the sentence one by one and find out which is the best. You have the senator's speech was a veiled attack at the opposition. Okay, this is particularly in politics. So the senator was making a speech that was a veiled attack. It was in disguise to attack the opposition party or the opposition or the opponent. So let's see the next one. The senator's speech was a veiled promise at the opposition. Because we have at here, it won't work. It was a veiled promise at. No, at means like against something, against someone. Okay, you're putting something to something. That's what at is. Okay, then let's see. The senator's speech was a veiled threat at the opposition. No, threat and at does not go, doesn't sync well. It doesn't help this collocation. You get it now, this part of the sentence. So the senator's speech was a veiled insult at attack seems to be the most, like you can see the instruction, choose the best. So attack seems to be the best word to fit the sentence. The senator's speech was a veiled attack at the opposition. Right, that's correct. Question 10. Choose the correctly punctuated sentence. That means they are all having the same wordings, but differently punctuated. Okay. So who said I'll go? That's what is in all 4 options. But the placement of the punctuation marks determine which is correct, and the intonation that you use in reading that particular sentence or statement. So who said I'll go? Who said I'll go? Well, not to waste time, the one who has the proper punctuation is option B. Who said I'll go? Right. So this is the one with the correct punctuation, option B. Moving on, choose the correct meaning of the idiom. This is an idiomatic expression. What is an idiomatic expression? It's like proverb. It's like wise saying. Yeah. So to throw him the towel. To throw him the towel is simple. It just means to give up. So throwing the towel means to give up, not to start fighting, to get injured, to become very, to give up. Yeah, throwing in the towel means I'm giving up. Okay. 12. Comprehension inference. That means taken from comprehension. This particular quote is taken from a comprehension. So he polished off the meal in minutes. Interesting expression. He polished off the meal in minutes. I have a homework for you, a task for you. What figure of speech is this sentence pulled from? He polished off the meal in minutes. Okay, but let's go into it. What does this suggest? He polished off the meal in minutes. What does this suggest? A, he spilled the meal, he cooked the meal, he ate it quickly, cleaned the plate. So it simply means, in fact, it was fast. He ate the meal really quickly. So he polished off, he ate the meal in minutes. That's what it means. It's just an expression to give it a better sound, make it look better. Yes. Good. Question 13. Lexis. His actions are not in consonance dash the party's principles. His actions are not in consonance. You must have heard this before. You're not in consonance with. With always go with consonants. Okay, with that expression consonants. Or if you like, sync. Sync. Synchrony. Okay? His actions are not in synchrony. His actions are not in consonance with the parties principle. So with is the correct option there. Yeah? Question 14. Choose the correct option. We hardly knew anything about the man. What's the correct tag for this? We hardly knew anything about the man. Hardly knew. Okay? Past. Okay? Hardly knew anything about the man. Did we? So this is like a negative. Your response to this question should be in the positive. Yes, because negative tag will always require positive ending, positive tags. So we have the negative on the left side, the right should be positive. So it's not going to be didn't we or hadn't we. We're going to be left between B and D, which will be what? Did we? We hardly knew anything about the man. Did we? Do you see that? Yes. So remember that, always remember that negative tags will always go with positive tags. Yep. Good. Question 15. Choose the most suitable expression. That means which of these 4 options, when you put it into this sentence, will make the most sense. He gave a graphic account of his ordeal. He gave a grammatical account of his ordeal. He gave a fantastic account of his ordeal. He gave a boring account of his ordeal. What does ordeal means? It means a bad situation, an unpleasant experience, ordeal. So he gave a graphic account of his ordeal. It's definitely not fantastic because, like we just said, it's unpleasant. Boring. Grammatical. Someone who had an unpleasant experience is not going to be speaking grammar. So grammatical won't work. Fantastic won't work. Boring won't work. Graphic will mean he painted a picture. He painted a very clear picture. He explained in depth, so much so we saw the picture of what he was talking about on that journey of his unpleasant experience. So graphic, he gave a graphic account of his ordeal. A is the correct answer here. So if you are yet to be subscribed to this channel, well, we've come this far and I'm sure you've been enjoying the class. So make sure you do so. Turn on the notification bell so that when I release follow-up videos to GCE, and not just that, we have so many, we cover just about almost all the exams. You will be notified and then you can watch to pass your exams very colorfully. Also, if you have better options to any of these ones I've taken, or if you feel I did not take the right answer, or you have comments, definitely we want to hear from you. Feedback is important to us, so we would like you to use the comment section here to contact us and let us know what you think about an answer or a particular question. Yeah, good. Question 16. Choose the best synonym. What's synonym? The most closely related, or the best related word, okay, to the italic word, the word in italics, which is spontaneous. So what's another word that is closely related to spontaneous from this? The student's reaction was spontaneous. Is it rehearsed, emotional? In fact, rehearsed would be like the opposite. Okay, because spontaneous is like it just happened. Spontaneous, automatic. It was not cooked. It was not pre-planned. It was not pre-planned, rehearsed. So that's why I said rehearsed would be like an opposite to spontaneous. It was automatic. So the student's reaction was automatic. Good. Question 17. Sentence transformation. Transform this particular sentence or turn it around. Yeah, that's what it's about. And what's this particular sentence? It's in the passive. Look at it. It says, people say she's intelligent. People say she's intelligent. This is in the passive now. Okay, so put it in the active because we have passive and active. Yeah. So people say she's intelligent. If you have to put it in the passive active, what will it be from these options? Is it going to be, it is said she's intelligent. She is said to be intelligent. People are said to be intelligent. It is intelligent to be said. Well, definitely it's not going to be any of these because this doesn't even make proper grammatical sense. So we are left with A and B. It is said she is intelligent. If there was a comma here, right, this would work. It is said she's intelligent. So, but the best transformation for this is she is said to be intelligent. So A can also work, but B is the best or better. B is the better of these two options. She is said to be intelligent. People say she's intelligent. You flip that into the active voice, it becomes she is said to be intelligent. Question 18. We are filling in the blank now. This is the man dash house was burgled last night. Now, this is the man dash house. You can see from this particular statement or sentence that it's a possessive. We need something possessive here that will identify the owner's house. So which of these options is used for possessive? It's used in possessive sentences or statements, or it's a possessive word. So we have who, which, whose, whom, whose. This is the man. This is the man whose house whose house was burgled last night. What's burgled? His house was broken into. Yes. His house was broken into. His goods were carted away. Or carried away. Not carted away. Carried away. So, burgled. This is the man whose house was burgled last night. 19 now. Oral English. Choose the pair that rhymes. So we have a pair. A pair means two. A pair means two. So choose the pair that rhymes. We have rough, off, 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 off. So rough, cough is correct. Then we have come, boom, or who, boom, who, or come, come, or boom, who doesn't rhyme. Yeah. Then we have love, move, totally different. We have hate, height, hey, high, height, high, hey, high. Nothing right, right? Okay. I love oral English a lot because it's just funny when you're even practicing. It's just funny, it makes me laugh a lot. So choose the pair that rhymes. You have rough, cough. Good. Question 20. Choose the correct spelling. Conscientious. Conscientious. They are all going to sound alike. Now I have a special way I attempt questions as this. When I see the question and the options, I just turn to the empty page towards the back of my answer booklet and spell that particular word, because if you stare at it too much, your brain and your mind begin to get confused, and that could actually lead to you taking the wrong option. So you go and spell conscientious off memory, the back page of your book or on your writing paper. So then you now come using that to pick the correct option. But for the sake of this, conscientious, it has a T, not a C. Conscientious, right? 21. Comprehension. Comprehension. In a passage describing corruption as a cankerworm, this metaphor means, this is taken from a comprehension now. That means corruption is widespread. Corruption affects worms. Corruption is sweet. Corruption is fat. Corruption is widespread because cankerworms spreads. Then they also always associated with caterpillars. They spread, and as they spread like that, they destroy stuff. So that's what it's actually saying. The passage is inferring metaphoric expression. So corruption is like a cankerworm actually. It just spreads and continues to eat deep into the fabrics. 22. Choose the correct phrase. Rather than stay idle, he opted to volunteering. Rather than stay idle, or rather than staying idle, he opted to volunteering, not at volunteering or for by. It's to. He opt to, or he opt into. Okay? He opted to. A is the correct option. 23. Neither the teacher nor the students dash presents. Neither the teacher nor the students dash presents. Now this is a subject-verb question. And the rule of subject-verb expressions is that the verb will always agree to the nearer subject. How many subjects do we have in here? We have 2 subjects. We have the teacher, we have the students. So the verb is what's supposed to be here. So the verb will always agree to the nearer subject. The nearer subject here is what? Students. Yes. So students is then in plural. So what's the verb going to be here? It's going to be is. This is in singular. It's got to be what? Plural, which is what? Neither the teacher nor the students were present. Because it's in the past. Were present. Or neither the teacher nor the students are present. But it's likely going to be were, because I'm looking at it as in the past. Okay. Now 24. Choose the correct sentence. Neither Ade nor Bola have come. Neither Ade nor Bola has come. Neither Ade or Bola has come. Or neither Ade or Bola have come. Now in this particular case, neither makes it singular, like I explained. Maybe in question 3 or so. Neither makes this particular statement singular. That means not one of the 2 of them has come. And once it is singular, you use has. When it is plural, you use have. Do you understand that? So neither Ade nor Bola has come. Do you get that now? So not one of these 2 guys has come, sorry. So neither Ade has not come, Bola has not come. Cool. Yes, so that's it. And then 25. Choose the best completion. Which of these options will complete this statement the best? The man was accused. When you accuse someone, you accuse them of something. Yeah? So people who are accused of something. So just keep that rule also behind somewhere in your brains. They're right there. So the man was accused of. You don't accuse for, by, or to. You're accused of. The man was accused of theft, stealing something. Okay? Now, do you want to practice more questions as this? We have loads of questions, thousands of questions on our app, and you can actually start practicing for free. You can use the PDF, you can use the JAM, WAEC, GCE simulator. It's right there for free. Amongst that, there are other tools like the dictionary, like notes where you can save 1 or 2 stuff. Just browse the app. The link to download it is in the description, and it is free once again. So go check it. You can also see so many videos that relates to what we've done here, and get yourself prepared for your exam. You have no excuse and no reason to fail anymore. So go download it and start practicing these questions right away. Then 26. What's the synonym for surreptitious? Synonym means another word. So for surreptitious, surreptitious means hidden. So what's going to be something that is not open, something that is hideous, secretive. So another word for surreptitious is secret, secretive, like I just said. 27. Literature. Okay. Which of these is a major theme in African prose fiction? Fiction. Now, this is a question on literature. Now, which of these is a major theme that you will always find in African prose fiction? And that's what tradition versus modernity. Yes. In African prose fiction, you don't really see romantic love. You don't see space travel. You don't see things talking about God most of the time. Most of what you see in African prose is what? Traditional. Yes, because it's African. Traditional. Ibile. Then modernity is always almost sometimes a versus thing. Tradition versus modernity. Good. So 28. 28, please. Okay, choose the odd one out. This is also oral English, like sounds. Choose the odd one out. We have sheep, 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 sleep, sit. Look at those sounds. Sheep, e, 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 sit, e. But this is a short e. The others are long e. Okay, is that exactly? And then question 29. Grammatical error spotting. You should spot the error. Yeah. He has went home. You know, there are some people who speak this way or who talk like this. He has went home. That's wrong. So the correct should be what? He has gone home. Yeah. So that's the correct spot there. 30. Choose the best word. The armed robber was granted dash. So which of these? This is a legal term, or the correct option here will be a legal term. So the armed robber was granted the bail, bond, bondship, passport. Is bail. Bail is a kind of option to jail time that is given to a convicted person, okay, to dismiss them or to release them of the jail time. So sometimes they may be, okay, let's do that. So the armed robber was granted bail. So 31. Choose the correct synonym. The lawyer gave a concise is the word slant, in slant there, or italic there. So you need to give us the synonym for concise. The lawyer gave a concise explanation. So what synonym? A close related word or another word for. So what's another word for concise from these words? You have lengthy, clear, brief, rude. Which of it would be concise? Concise means clear. Precise will now be what? Brief, straight to the point. Or concise means clear. Okay, so the lawyer gave a clear explanation. Yes, a clear explanation. So concise means clear. Then 32. From literature, the statement, the child is the father of the man, is an example of what? The child is the father of the man. It's a paradox. Now, what's a paradox? A paradox is a kind of a statement that do not make sense, but on closer look makes sense. Right? Okay. So on the first hearing, paradox don't make sense. But when you think about it, deeper thoughts, then it finally makes sense. Look at that. The child is the father of the man. It's true. Because the time comes, your papa, your dad, gets old. And then you as his child, or as a child, you as his child, that's the proper way, begins to take care of him. So your father becomes a baby again, probably when he's 120, 130. He actually cannot do a lot of stuff for himself, not me though. So you begin to do it for him. So your father has become your child again. So paradox are statements that on closer look would make sense, but on the first counter with them, they actually feel stupid. They look stupid. Okay, so 33. Choose the correct completion. Okay, which of these words will complete this perfectly? He walked as if he dash drunk. Now, somebody would say, you said before that if it's a singular, if it's one person, it should be is, because is used in the singular. No, that's true. But in this particular case, this is a subjunctive statement. The mood here is subjunctive. Look at it. Subjunctive mood are used for guesses, hypotheticals, unreal situation. Okay? So he walked as if he were. Whenever you see anything subjective, you use were. Okay? If I were the president for a day, this is what I would do. So subjunctive will often go with what? Were. So he walked as if he were. Not he was drunk or he's drunk. Because walked is not in the present. So you can't say he's drunk. Walked shows that it's in the past. So he walked as if he were drunk. Interesting. 34. Choose the best phrase. I will not attend the party. What's the best word to complete it? Except I am invited. I will not attend the party except I am invited. 35. Comprehension. If a man is said to be meticulous, he is what? Now, one of the challenges with English language is that if you don't know the word, how could you know what the option is? So, meaning you have to know a lot of words. And how can you know that? You need to read a lot of books. You need to read storybooks. You need to read novels. You need to read articles. So the more you read, you come across these words, you become used to them. Okay? He said that the greatest user of words was Shakespeare. And despite the probably a million words in the world, or even more, he only used 21,000 on a regular basis. Because those are the ones that he was familiarized with. So there's so much words, and you can't know everything. You don't need to deceive yourself or struggle there. You can't know everything. But you need to know the ones that are always in use, because you will meet them in English examinations. There is no running away. So if a man is said to be meticulous, he is what? Meticulous will mean somebody who pays attention to details, someone who is very careful. Details. Who observes is thorough. Yeah? So that's thorough there. He pays attention. The little things matters to him and he gives it attention. So thorough. Someone who is meticulous is thorough. Very thorough. 35. 36 rather. Choose the correct stress pattern for this word. I don't want to call the word. Okay? Because I know that you have a wrong idea of pronouncing this word. When people say economics, which is wrong. Economics is wrong. That's not how to call this word. It's economics. Economics. So this O doesn't sound economics. Okay, probably economics. So pronouncing it now correctly, where is the stress? Economics. Can you tell us where the stress is? You have echo, like like many people in many village people say economics. So this is wrong. Economics, wrong. Economics, wrong. Economics, economics. You see that all in the middle. This is where the stress is. Economics. See, economics. Beautiful. So D has the correct stress on it. And 37. Choose the correct phrasal verb. She finally got over a fear of flying. Not got by, got on, got at, no, got over. When you overcome something, you overcome, you got over something. Right. Yeah, you get it, you got that now. So when you triumph over something, you got over it, you overcome it. So she finally got over a fear of flying. Good. 38. Choose the correct sentence. I prefer tea than coffee. I prefer tea to coffee. I prefer tea over coffee. I prefer tea with coffee. What's it? When you are differentiating between two similar stuff, you use to. I prefer tea to coffee. It's the correct one. Okay? 39. The policeman was accused of taking a, what does policeman take? Especially in Africa. Bribe. Policeman was accused of taking a bribe. And then 40. Identify the odd word. Sigh, hi, bye, lie. I love it. Sigh, hi, bye, lie. So, hi, 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 lie, hi, 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 sigh, hi. You can see that hi, hi, hi sound. Don't use one that has different one. Bye, bye. So, it has the I. So, this has a different vowel sound. So, C is a long one out. Now, if you have watched to question 40, you have followed us from question 1 to question 40. That's good. You are a serious student. If you have done that and you are not subscribed to this channel, you are not doing well, because we give you all of these beautiful resources. We've enjoyed ourselves. It's been real, right? And you've not joined the family, and you've not even rewarded us with a subscription. I don't think it's fair. So smash the subscribe button. It's even better for your own good, because as we release more of these, you will be notified. Then you can watch more. Enjoy yourself, okay, as you prepare yourself for any exam. Note that these particular questions work for just about any exam. Once you are good in these questions, this type of questions, you beat JAMB, you beat WAEC, you beat GCE, you beat IELTS, you beat 12, you beat SAT. I mean, you would literally not fail any English paper once you are good. You understand the use of words, you understand lexis, structure, grammatical inference. Yes, so that's why it's good to practice a lot of this, and we have a lot of them already in the channel. So just begin studying and enjoying and subscribing and sharing and liking. Yeah. Now let's finish it. We have just 10 left. Grammar question. No one knows where he lives. What's going to be the tag? Today. No one knows where he lives. It's not going to be doesn't he, does he, don't they. Today. Today. Yeah. Negative, positive, like I said before. 42. Choose the best interpretation. The boy was sent packing. So which of these words interprets the boy was sent packing in the correct way? He was promoted. No, they kicked him out. He wasn't promoted. That's why the boy was sent packing. They kicked him out. So he was dismissed. He was dismissed. The boy was dismissed. Not he was rewarded, not he was ignored. He was dismissed. 43. 44. Correct. Choose the correct expression. The matter is dash my jurisdiction. What does jurisdiction mean? It's actually used in, for the most part, in political legal system. Jurisdiction is used in political legal system. It simply means my sphere, my authority, my domain, okay, my powers. So the matter is within my power, is within my control, is within my area of influence. So it's within, you use within, because it's not out of it, it's inside it. So within my jurisdiction. 45. Choose the best synonym for ephemeral. Ephemeral means synonym. Let's start with synonym. Synonym means closer related word. Ephemeral means temporal. something that would not last forever, something that, ephemeral is just trivial, something temporal. Okay, so the best synonym for ephemeral from here would be what? From temporal from here would be what? You have short-lived, eternal, painful, rare, short-lived. Short-lived is ephemeral. Okay. 46. Choose a correct alternative. Dash you explain your absence, you will be punished. Dash you explain your absence, you will be punished. Unless, conditional, conditional. Unless you explain your absence, you will or you be punished. So unless is the correct word for that. And 47, choose the odd stressed word. Choose the odd stressed word. Okay. I didn't even put the, okay, it's correct. Choose the odd stressed word. Now, this word, record, can act as a noun or a verb. Permit, okay, also as a noun or a verb. Increase, export. So now the examiner tells you that the word placed here is actually the noun part or type of the word, so that you don't be confused. What do I mean? Look at it. Choose the odd stressed word. Record. That's the name of something. Now is the name of something. Record is like tape recorder. Take this record. Take this track to the artist. Take this record. So where is the stress on record? Remember that there is also record, which is record this album, record this track for me, which is like a word, an action word. But in this particular case, it's record, which is like a track, a noun, the name of something. Because a track is the name of a musical tape or something. So, record. Where is the stress on record? Then we have the second one. Permit. This permit here is not asking for something, like permit me to do something. This permit here is like license. Do you have your shop permit? Have you had that before? Shop permit, car permit, house permit. So like a license, like a paper. It's the name of a thing. That's why you see now beside it, because now is a meaning word. So permit. Where is the stress on permit? All that thoughts were coming. And then the next one, increase or increase. Now, verb, which is like a word, action word, telling you to do something. Increase. Okay, verb. Now, that would be increase. Increase it. Please add more. The person has put some eba. Increase it. so increase it. An action, asking for an action to be done. Where is the stress on increase? No. Increase. Because you're asking for something to be done. See the donation. Look at the way it's switching. Then we have the fourth one. Export. Now, is a noun, which is not going to be export, it will be export. These are the exports. These are the things that are going out of the country. So it has been given that name, export. So it's a naming word, it's a noun. So increase has the stress on crease, the second syllable, because it's an action word. Increase. Increase the food. Put more rice. Increase it. But all the other ones have it on the first. Record. This is my record. Where's your shop permit? Permit. So, has it on the pair. These are my exports. Has it on the word? X. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, only increase has it on the second syllable. 49. In drama, a character who contrasts sharply with another is called a what? A foil. You don't need to dwell much on that. A character who contrasts sharply with another is called a foil. 49. Choose the correct expression. The teacher's voice rose above the noise. Ah, I love it. The teacher's voice rose above the noise. So rhythmic. The teacher's voice rose above the noise. So the last one you have, the best way to answer a GCE summary question is to what? Copy from the passage, write in your own words, summarize in one sentence, guess from option, write in your own words. In fact, not just GCE, all kinds of questions. If you have to do summary, the best way to do it is to write it in your own words. Take the central idea, the full idea of the passage, and put it in your own words. I hope you enjoyed this. I did personally, because it was an interesting few minutes we've had to tackle this English question. Mind you, like I said, these particular questions we have studied works for just about every English exam for the high school level. So if you are doing WAEC, you can still check your link. If you are doing JAM, you can still visit it, right? And if you are yet to be subscribed, what are we going to do about you? Make sure you smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.